Welcome to FPB's Meet the Candidates. This Cable 10 series allows you, the viewer, the voter, to get a better look at our local candidates and hear what they have to say about the issues that are important to us. This is all leading up to the general election, which is on Tuesday, November 6th. Today's guest is Shannon Griffith, and she is running for the Frankfort Independent School Board. Welcome, Shannon.
Thank you.
I thought maybe we'd start out with you telling us a little bit about yourself and why you've chosen to run for the school board.
Well, I'm a mother of three, but it doesn't just stop in my home. It actually takes a village to raise a child. So I put myself on the school board to increase the school safety for all the children that do attend the school. So we've attended for the last 5 years, and we're not seeing it get any better, and no one's doing anything as of today to make a difference except for the volunteer efforts that I do.
Okay. So what are the responsibilities of a school board member?
It's to oversee and to make sure that we follow policy and procedure, make sure that the budget is within line, and to make sure everybody is held accountable for what their job responsibilities are.
Okay. Those are big responsibilities.
Big responsibilities.
Yeah. So what previous experience do you have or characteristics that you have that feel like have prepared you for this role?
Well, the qualifications is for anyone. Anyone can run for the school board, and as a parent that does want to see the school system get better, I would be a great candidate. But I spent the last 15 years coming out of high school in the medical field, so I took care of a lot of patients from the time that you were older until your first birth. So that really gave me the experience to be able to relate to people in a different level. So bringing on that experience to where I want to be able to relate and I want to make lives better, because I say success is not just measured in the classroom, it's also measured in the surrounding counties.
Okay. So inevitably there'll be a new member on the board.
Correct.
Because
once returned.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So what advantages do you think there are as having a new person on the board?
Oh, new perspective. New outlook. We want to move forward, so it's always great to have a new transition, so then that way we can go forward.
Okay. So what do you see as the biggest issue facing the board right now in the city schools?
Sometimes my volunteer efforts are not taken serious, but it's the people that have asked me to put my name on the school board, because I do stand out there every day and show determination, leadership, and not only that, but I'm willing not to be paid to make the place better.
Okay. Right now, the fiscal court, both city and county school boards, and soon the Frankfort City Commission have voted to increase tax rates.
Correct. And I agree with Libby Marshall and her write-up that sometimes when we do increase the tax rate, it also affects the surrounding community. So it is going to affect our families that already are at poverty level.
So is there anything the board can do to help generate some other revenue for the school system?
They have tried, and that was another issue that they had on the budget, was the accelerated classes during our 3-week break. So we also increased revenue that way, but now we're also additionally charging the parents for any accelerated classes. So they could do a better job of finding other revenue sources, and we do have revenue sources without taking it from the families.
Okay. How do you envision the school board working maybe with the city or with the state? Because the city school system, they get revenue from property taxes.
Correct.
And the city schools lose out a lot every year because of the tax exempt status of our state properties, city properties, and
Correct.
we've got the federal building properties. What can the school board do to address this?
Well, the city and the school board have kind of worked together. I think the city's already given them $200,000 just to make some necessary maintenance issues. The other thing that the city or the school could do as well too is to give back more to the families that are, attending the school there.
Yeah.
Now the city officials have talked about increasing taxes, getting more people to live downtown, but until you make downtown safer to live, it's not really going to help the school board. And then they also lowered the tuition to be more relatable with the other county schools. So I think that kind of hurt us and kept us separated from the county schools.
Well, I know one of your big issues is safety and
Correct.
keeping our children safe. So what ideas do you have to achieve that?
We go back to, city blames state, state blames city. I only got involved just for the simple fact that nobody wanted to take responsibility if anybody got hurt. So what I say is, we can at least update our signs. We could add more flashers. We can communicate with the drivers like, hey, you're going to approach a school zone. And now I found out the other day that they're going to be closing Lafayette, which puts another scare of all the unregulated traffic that do come down. Our issue is that the State Department hasn't updated their signs. So instead of 18,000 regulated weight limit, we get 80,000 weight limit coming downtown. So when I reached out to KSP, the Kentucky State Police, I was informed that we only have 2 officers that can even write tickets in that manner or to do inspections on those, commercial vehicles. So that puts us at a risk. So each time that I went to the city and to the state, we've kind of just got the runabout. Considering last year, a little girl did get hit, Richard, the constable, did get hit, and we still did nothing to even improve the safety of the school.
Yeah. I'm going to switch gears a little bit here. Our local economic development group tells us that the availability of skilled labor is a major obstacle to attracting new businesses to our community. What is something that the school boards can do and schools to address this issue to make our students more skilled when they come out of high school?
When they do come out, yes, because when they do come out, they're expected to immediately get a job. And this is kind of where it goes back to, do we push more skilled trade? Because we've always pushed for you to go to college. And now we've kind of got the results back that now our young teenagers are making decisions that's going to leave them in $30-some thousand debt for the rest of their life. So I'm more for the skilled trade, and I think that we should push it. And I think we should partner with what we already have in town, like the Thornhill Learning Center.
Another issue that our local businesses have is that once they do find skilled workers, oftentimes they can't pass a drug test.
Correct.
What can our schools do to address this issue?
Well, now some of the surrounding counties, they do offer the drug program to where they will drug screen, and you do make that a part of the participation of the school. But then we're also asking for additional resources to try to help screen that.
Right.
And those are the children that I find that are more at risk walking to school every day, is the ones that don't have 2 parents at home or living with additional relative.
Okay. I know we talked about safety issues earlier, but there's also the issue as far as right now we've seen the mass shootings in schools. We had in Marshall County, just right here in Kentucky.
Very good concern.
Yeah. What more can the school board do to address this issue?
Well, that's what concerns me, is because when I went to the school board, every county school has a school resource officer. Frankfort Independent does not have a school resource officer, and so that takes away from the students to be able to build that relationship with our officials to say, hey, something's wrong, so now they don't even have a voice to advocate that. And I think that if we did have a resource officer, I think they would also cut down a lot on the bullying and some of those behaviors. We would be able to catch those a lot sooner. But right now, when I asked the school board, it was not even of their interest. They said they'll just rely on the city police if an emergency ever happens. And if you ask the city police, we're understaffed and we only have, a handful of officers actually doing patrol.
Yeah.
So it's a catch-22 because we have to wait for something to happen before maybe they'll take it a little bit more serious.
Yeah. Well, are there any decisions or steps that the school board has taken that you would have done differently if you had been on the school board?
Yes, I would have treated every kid that crossed the street as if they were my own. And I would have gave them some kind of additional resource, or I would have put additional staff on the street to kind of help. So if Richard's not there and he's only there for 30 minutes, we still see those children crossing the street because they access the Ewing Street gym. And then we also use that parking for overfill parking because we don't have a lot of parking at our school, and that creates you not wanting to attend any kind of special programs because there's never any parking, but then it also creates the cluttering to where the traffic can't make it through.
Right. Well, as you're hoping to get on the school board, if you are
Yes.
reelected, what are your main goals? What do you want to achieve in your term?
My main goal is most definitely to improve the safety. It's a 200-year-old problem, and we haven't done anything to make the schools safer or better. And the other main issue is importance is to oversee the $8 million that we did receive for the Tiger Grant. A lot of information hasn't been released about that, but I did learn the majority of the money is going to go to city water and electric impairments. So the school board's the school is not actually going to get a better crossing walk than what we currently have now.
So what would you see as the school board's role in that Tiger Grant?
To make sure that we're really good about receiving the resources, but we have to make sure that we delegate the resources, accordingly.
Okay.
So I would oversee to make sure that it's actually for the 2nd Street corridor, not for the city to improve on.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you the opportunity now to look into that camera and tell people why you're the best candidate for the Frankfort City School Board and why they should vote for you.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Shannon Griffith, and most of you all know me as the volunteer that will volunteer to improve the safety at 2nd Street School. But not only that, I'm a mother of 3, and I'm going to continue mothering the children, my children, and your children as well. So I ask, Shannon on board for school safety. Thank you.
Thank you, Shannon, and we appreciate you coming out and talking to us. I know our viewers appreciate hearing directly from our candidates. Again, it's Shannon Griffith. She's running for the Frankfort Independent School Board. That's it for today. I will remind our voters that Election Day is Tuesday, November 6th, so we really want you to get out and vote, and when you're done voting, go home and tune in to Channel 10. We'll have live election coverage direct from the county clerk's office. It's election season, and that means it's time to get informed. Then go voice your choice. That's it for Meet the Candidates. We'll see you next time.